Today we're gonna walk through how to hook up a Saga and the reducer. Here, let's first take a look at the API what we want to call. So we defined two API to basically to change the update and the get bookme username. Basically, if the UI is corresponding here, if you want to change a name, right? If you want to use a different name, we click save, and it will issue a call to let's say put. So in this work, we can try it out, right? So if you give a name, if I want to change my name, like change my name to Will, for example, execute. Then here, when you try it out, get. So you actually get Will, right? We can play it more, like Charles, for example. And here, when you issue a call get, it becomes Charles. Okay. So now we have the API. We need to hook it up. Okay. So I already wrote the code here. Basically, when we click save, when we click cancel, we just change it back, right? When we click save, we send a put request to update the bookme username, and we use the React hook, right? So if the bookme username is changed, we make a get. If it's empty, I mean when the initial load, we make a get request, right? So here in the reducer, we define the bookme username. So we need to update it, right? So what we first do is let's define a method. This is the reducer, right? So we can update it, right? So first let's copy paste this code here. The payload, let's just call it okay, now we need to define the class, right? So let's just copy here. Let's just call the name. We need a string, right? So here, equal sign. Okay, let's go back. Here we actually got a name, right? Let's say state that bookme username equal name. Let's see why it's giving let's see. Okay, that's good. I don't think we need this. I mean, I'm looking at the console. We do have some warning. So this is the npm running. Okay, so now we have this. The API part I already defined it here. API is where we make a call, right? Here in the booking API. So this is the fetch, and this is actually this is the put. We need to do a put, passing the name. So we're not exactly using JSON, so I'm not gonna change this to JSON. Okay. So now the reducer part. Oh, give me a second. So the reducer part. Now we go to the Saga part, right? Saga part we need update. Let's define function. Okay. Let's define a function. Let's call it fetch bookme username. So what do we need? So now we need some action, right? Let's first copy paste those boilerplate first, and probably this part as well. Okay, now we have some boilerplate. This is fail. We copy paste here. So here when we fetch bookme username, let's define the action type. We actually don't need any input, right? Let's say fetch username. It's pretty much empty. We don't need to give anything. According to the API, we're gonna call this API, right? So no input parameter, right? So let's change this. Here we don't have anything, so we just make a yield call. What is it? So it's called get username, right? Get username. So we need to import it. So this is added here. So here we got it right. Data. This is a string. Oh, we're not sure. Actually, let's log it. Okay. Because this is not exactly JSON, like I mentioned, right? So this is more like a response. So let's log it. Okay, data. Then we can figure out what it is. Okay, we need to import this as well. Okay. We need here to hook up the booking link. Give me a sec. So we need the action. Okay, we didn't define the action here. We need to define something like this. Okay. So it knows. Get book me username action. No need for action. Okay, so then here the action is the book me username action. Okay, so now we put it hook it the method. We'll get book me username. Okay, and we just define the fetch. So now you need to relate those, and we also want to expose it in the action. So export. Usually the name is the same. Okay, so let's call it get book me username equal empty because we don't need anything. So here actions dot get get me username. So we don't have any input in this case, so we just make it empty. Do we need anything? Why is asking for? I don't think. Oh, we used the wrong one. Should be this one. Otherwise, we need to give a name. Let's. Okay. Is it this one here? Okay. We need to define this fetch. Okay. Now we don't need to give anything. Okay. Now that we already have this, let's go back to the UI part. So now we export this action, so we can call it. So we can call Saga method, right? So go back to here, this page. I mentioned we want to do a get here, right? So first hook up the method. So it's called get. Let's find it out. So this name is get book me username. Okay. Get book me username. So we need to import it. Add import statement. So it's from not API. I mean it's the same name, but sometimes we do have same name, but we wanted the action. Okay, don't use the API directly. Okay, so now also you need to divide here. So should be void. Just make sure we define the method. So let me double check here when we define method. Yeah, because we don't have any input parameter, so it's always ending with void. Okay, so now we do this get book me username. Book me username. Okay, now we have the method. Here we actually we can call it get book me username. We should be able to invoke it. Okay, let's look at the console. Okay, cool. So let's go back to the browser. So this is running on my local. Let's remember we actually try to print it right in the Saga. We actually let's give some detail. So fetch. So we know this is from this place. Okay, when we look at the console. So let's refresh the page. Here, did it print here? Oh, we have some warning. Sorry about that. Okay, so you see here because it's not exactly JSON, so we are looking for what? We are looking for the body, right? So let's you see here, this is the whole response, right? We wanted the body. Okay. So let's do give me a sec. So basically it's asynchronous. So let's say the body let's say equal yield data dot body should be like this. Let's try it. Okay, let's try it again. It's not exactly JSON here. We just return the body directly. So it's a string. Read the string. Let's take a look how we handle this kind of input. Let's first search if we have deal with the body before. Okay, document.body. No. Okay. Yield. Should be yield. So here we're doing yield.json, which is correct. Oh, it should be a method. Sorry. Body should be a method. Let's do it again. Okay. Okay. Click. Body not a function. Okay. Let's take a look. React. How to read the body from response. Okay, let's see. Use send. But we don't have a JSON. It's not exactly JSON, so this doesn't work. Use send. I'm not sure we want to use send. Okay, text. Oh, I think it's the text. Yeah, now I recall. Let's see. Use text should work. Let's look at this. Yeah, Charles. Now we get the Charles, right? So first we are successfully. So now we need to change this to be. So we first this is string, right? So this is the name we want, and then remember we have the. So now we need to update our reducer's variable, right? So here, once we do book me username received, so now this is the name and we pass the name. Now we are good. Okay, let's see this. Let's look at this. So look at this. Right now it's Boolean journal, right? Because we changed it to Charles, right? So here, Charles. Let's play with it more. Let's make a put here. But later we will move the put other place. Okay, let's change this to will. Execute. So now you have will, right? So next step, when you make a change here, when you change something like a will new name, we click this and then we send a put. So this video ends here. I will make another video to do the rest. Okay.